Hey guys, this is Dusty Showers, and you'll have to bear with me. This is a first for me. I have been doing the American teach-in since I don't even know, probably 2003. I have two daughters, and they are now 20 and 23 years old. They also went to Forest Lakes Elementary. So if that's where you are and you're watching this, it's a fantastic school. I've spent a lot of time there, decades. So be kind to your teachers and your P's. That's advice I've got for you. So this is a first. I've always done Great American Teach live. And unfortunately, because of circumstances, we're not able to do that. So I'm going to do my best to tell you a little about what I do. So my company called, can't read, but up here you see it's Creepy Creatures, and we are a full service wildlife pest control company. My background is with life. However, I've did a lot of my company into doing pest control because, frankly, it's easier to make money in pest control than it is with wildlife. But I love animals, and that's really been part of what has attracted me to this business. I'm going to let you on something too. So this tooth, to get rid of this, I'm also new to this whole layout. So pardon me if everything is not smooth, and I also have a bad habit of shaking the leg. So if you see the table shaking, don't stop shaking my leg. So I've got a sister, and when we were little, she put one of her rubber band hair things in my mouth and put back one, and it ended up knocking my tooth out. So sorry, teachers, but I only said because I'm trying to do this without my falling out. So very awkward, and I realized. That may not I don't know why it would be inappropriate. It seems like it's inappropriate, but I'm trying to talk without my tooth falling out. That also gives me a bit of a speech impediment, so my sincere apologies. So back to the wildlife business. What I essentially, I grew up being a soccer player. Soccer was my entire life. I loved soccer, loved animals. I went to college on a scholarship for soccer, and I ended up spending a lot of time collecting reptiles. Started with fish, piranhas, and oscars. Moved into lizards like basilisks, which are also called geozards. They can run on water. So we used to race those up and down the hallways, and that I lived in. And I graduated in different types of reptiles, especially ponds, and one of my favorites became the Burmese python. Which at the time it wasn't a problem, but these are the snakes that are taking over the Everglades, and they can get 10 to 18 feet. Some people say get bigger, but they really don't get much bigger than that. But 200 to 250 pounds, and that's very big snake. So I used to breed these in college, and then I had all kind of snakes and reticulated pythons and Indian pythons and African rock pythons and whatever you think of constrictors, iguanas, monitors, which are cousins of the Komodo dragon. So I had all of these guys, and I was in college. I just was not happy in college. I didn't feel like I was in the place. So eventually I found a job. It's actually a summer job. Back then it was a new newspaper. So my mom found this job in the newspaper and said, become a wild trapper. And I thought, this is perfect. I want to check this out. So I went, I practically begged for the job, and ended up getting it. And you guys don't know this, but they have basically a minimum wage now that says people need to get paid $15 an hour. Back then, I got paid $6.25 an hour, and for that, I got sprayed by skunks. I got stung by using yellow jackets, and other things from raccoons and whatnot. So I would come home filthy, especially smelling like a skunk. And now we don't have skunks on here, but where I learned this in Illinois, we had skunks almost every day. And so if you know the skunk, yes, they really smell. And sometimes after I sprayed, I go into the grocery store after work and can not tell anybody I got sprayed, and then just see everybody's reaction as they look around, going, "Oh God, it's terrible." So I learned everything that I could. I loved the job. I thought this is one for the rest of my life. And so my parents then moved down to Florida after that, and I came down to visit, and my dad said, why don't you put together a business plan and down here start your business, live with us and get started. And so we moved down, and we lived with my parents about 8 months while I got my business. So I did a part-time, just word of mouth, letting people know it could help them. And eventually that grew into a full business. Actually, like most businesses, I really failed where I just on too much. I tried to grow too fast. I didn't manage people properly, and things got out of control. And so I decided to give up that business. I sold what I could, and I went into real estate for probably about 7 years. And then this was a while ago, and then the economy crashed. And when that happened, real estate wasn't doing well at all. And so I said, well, I'm going to go back to catch snakes. And hard to make a living catching snakes. You can make some money, but you can't make a lot of money. But it's really, really fun. So I ended up going back to business, and I got a partner who was a long friend of mine, and he had the money. And so we started Creepy Creatures. And that was probably about 10 years ago, maybe probably even more than 10 years. So since then, things have been going. We do a lot of control. Rats are our main thing. So we deal with more rats than anything. Rats live in every neighborhood, everywhere, and everybody tries to come up with reasons why they have rats. Their neighbors' first fault. They have palm trees by the water, by the desert. They live by wherever. But the truth is, rats are just going to be just about everywhere. And it doesn't matter how nice your house is. We work for baseball players. We work for football players. In fact, there's a house on Bell Beach. It used to belong to Ryan Howard, who played for the Phillies. It's one of the biggest in Tampa Bay, and we dealt with issues out there. So it really doesn't matter what kind of house you're in. If you have a place for rats to get in, you're going to catch. They need three things: food, water, and shelter. And they can find food and water outside. So if they can find shelter in your house, they'll live in your house. Another thing that I do is I got a YouTube channel, and you guys are welcome to check that out. I'm going to try to pull up a couple videos here. Hope I'll be able to do this with no issues. So bear with me, and let me see. Why don't we pull up, try the yellow jacket one. So I told you we deal with the yellow jackets. There's a little bit of what it looks like. It's my hand.
Hi, this is Dusty Showers from Creepy Creatures,
and all guys are trying to kill
Yellow Jacket season here in the Tampa Bay area.
Let's get fun.
Yellow Jackets get pointed that it's not more exciting than it really is, and
really the camera doesn't
exciting. The
real
skill is to do it so
Yellow
that
Jackets are humming. You just hear
hire a professional
all around. You
that knows
feel
what they're
them.
doing, so that
They're
you're
pinging
paying
off
them
there.
to
They're
ensure that
vibrating from their wings, and that's thousands of Yellow Jackets that are trying to kill me.
Can be very dangerous.
This is where they're out of their nest. So around here, most Yellow Jackets live in the grass. However, some live in palm trees up north. They live in a house, so people can have that in their house. And so you've got Yellow Jackets swarming out in opening.
Company that's got years of experience.
Really got to take that serious. So there are
paying them to get rid of the problem.
Our risks in business, and this isn't for everybody. Most people don't want to do Yellow Jackets. And luckily, I've got Joe who works for me, and Joe is fearless, and he'll take care of those guys as well. So that's the hot compared to my foot.
If you're in the Tampa Bay area and you've got a stinging insect problem like bees, wasps, hornets,
so
Yellow
that's
Jackets,
a little bit about the Yellow Jackets that we deal with. Yellow Jackets are fun. They're really, really fun. However, it's dangerous, and I have been stung like way more times than you could ever imagine. I've been stung on my eyes. Some of my videos on YouTube show my eyes just swollen shut. There's been times where I've had more stings than I can count, and those bee suits don't always work. And if you don't have the right gloves on, they're going through the gloves, and that's really, really bad news when they sting through the gloves, and then your hands are swollen. And the problem with sting that is when they sting your hands, your hands hang below your heart, so that heart is going to be pumping blood out, and so your hands just raw pain for about a day or so from those yellow stings. So it's pretty gnarly. Let's check out. venomous snake. I think there's it's a water moccasin. This is my house. That's one of my creepy. And you can see this guy strike. Watch. Pop. There you go.
Hey, it's
the dudes are fat. Oh, by the way, don't do this with snake. But this is water moccasin. You can also see it rattle its tail. Now, these guys are actually the relatives of rattlesnakes. So they're the pit viper family. What that means is they've got like two pits by those, and they sense heat with that, and that's how they track the predators. It's just tail, and it's actually a lot of snakes will do that. It's rattlesnakes happen to have rattle, and so
rattle their tail.
That's why they get more attention, even though a lot of snakes will do that. And not all snakes will, but especially pit vipers.
In the pit viper family, you get cottonmouths.
The other thing about moccasins is they are often misidentified.
Copperheads
are constantly mixing them up with a banded water snake, and they do look a lot alike. I mean, they look extremely similar. And if you don't know what you're looking for, it can get you in a lot of trouble. But you want to be real careful when you find snakes. You don't necessarily kill a snake because you get a water moccasin, but I wouldn't go picking it up because you don't a water moccasin. Make sure if you're one of those guys that goes out grabbing snakes and things like that, make sure 100% sure of what you're we've got some funny with these guys though, where people call us and tell us that they have a water moccasin in their pool. Tell them, well, it's probably not, and they tell us, oh, I grew up on a farm. I know what snakes like. I know what a water moccasin looks like. And then you get out there and you see the snake walk up to it and pick it up, and then the snake bite out of the hand, and then the people out, and then you look at it and you tell them, it's a snake. It's not a water moccasin. So that's a great way to freak people out. We catch rattlesnakes. Go to my YouTube channel. You'll some of the rattlesnakes that we catch as well. Either in my name, Dusty Chops and Snakes, and some of those pop up.
You shouldn't be that close to the snake.
So let's see. I think we have one more of my favorite animal, and if I can remember to figure it out. All right, so I think I got it. We'll pull up a possum animal. Possums are my favorite animal. And I actually have a tattoo of a possum. I rode my bicycle across the country from Florida to California for a charity. When I got to California, I ran into a friend that said, I'd like to give you a tattoo of a possum. So who would say no to that? So I have a possum tattoo of these guys. So they're nature's little underdog. They look ferocious, but they are one of the most misunderstood and one of the most harmless animals in the world. Now, this is a super old possum, and its teeth are worn down. And actually, in the wild, possums only live about maybe 2 years in the wild. So one of the problems with possums is they're just not tough, and they put on a show. Let's see if we can hear Hal.
Eventually, it can cause death. Death, these guys are very uncommon, but it's going to make them real miserable.
Don't do this with possums. If you have to find one, don't say, "Hey mom, let's go touch the possum." Don't do that. I dealt with thousands of possums, so I've learned how to handle them. And possums are just like people. Some are ornery, some are super nice, some are super chill. So if you do this with the wrong possum, you get bit. I get it. So do not go handling possum. Let's see what I got. So petting a possum. I've got a whole bunch of possum videos on YouTube. If you guys are bored, look at this guy. He's so sweet. How could you not love a face that? I think I'd kiss him here and there. Let's see. Does he? I don't think he wants to be kissed. He looks like he's my friend. Hi, Mr. Possum. Oh, he missed me. Someone's got possum breath though. Yeah, so he's telling me to back off. He wants to be by himself. Leave him alone. You can see he didn't bite, and he actually probably didn't even want to bite. He just wanted to scare me up. But the thing about possums is you can pet them like this or other ways, and some of them will just you've heard the term play possum, will literally pass out. So they become unconscious. You can pick them up, you carry them around, and they flop. So some of them do that really easy. Some probably don't do that at all. It takes a lot more. But one thing they love to show their teeth.
Somebody tells you that possums are
And
vicious. Why don't you show them?
possums are, there's lots of little fun facts on them. They have more teeth than any other North American mammal. They have a pencil tail, which they are the only animal in North America that has a pencil tail. And what that means is they can hold things with their tail. So most animals' tails just kind of wag or hang or whatever, or drag behind like a rat. But possums can hold things, so they can pick up leaves. And a lot of people think they hang their tails, but they don't. That's just what you see in cartoons, or sometimes somebody will take a possum, hang it by its tail, and they take a picture. But they don't do that naturally. I give that. If anyone tries to convince you of that, they don't do that natural. Only when they're made to do that. But they are also the only North American mammal that can do this, other than you and me. Hopefully you. But this is an opposable thumb. It's thought to be something that's important in evolution, because not everybody has this. And having an opposable thumb is you can work with tools. So you can pick up pens. You can scratch your ear. You can do a lot of it that others can't do because of possums. The cool thing about possums too is they carry rabies. So a lot of animals can carry rabies, like foxes and raccoons, skunks. Although most of them don't, but can carry rabies. Possums just don't. So body temperature is too low, they have rabies. So if you see one and it looks rabid, it's probably just super scared. Also, sometimes they get hurt. People don't like them, and so they hit them with things, or they get hit by a car stuns them. So then you see them walking in circles or something like that. But in general, they're possums. They also love to ticks too. If you have a tick problem, maybe you need to get yourself a puff of possum. So that's a little bit about the possum. My normal day is we wake up and we look at our calendar. We have a specific software like which you guys use for school. We use it for business. And what it does is it tells us all of our customers, and we schedule work. So we look at calendar every day and we see who's scheduled for work. And a normal day will be house for pest control for roaches and stuff. Maybe putting out an armadillo trap. So we also have awesome armadillo traps. Let me that might be kind of cool to show you an armadillo trap. Stand by. All right, so here is an armadillo trap. Let me try to put on my handy dandy thing here. Now, armadillos are, we have them all over, and they really don't cause any damage, although, well, people will argue with you on that. What armadillos do is they dig holes, and they'll dig little holes around your yard because they eat insects like grub worms that are in the ground. So they dig little holes around the ground. But what they'll also do is they'll dig under a cement slab and things where it's up against something. So they dig or bushes, and sometimes people don't that in their yard. So they can make a mess, and they can cause damage. But it does. If it was in my yard, it wouldn't be at all. Some people, though, they don't want any in their yards, so they want them removed. These are awesome traps. We've only used them for about 3 years. And that over trap, that's the traps that we used to use. And you'd have to kind of bait that works for armadillos. You have to smell of armadillos. So we put the over traps out, but we have to put them in some special places, like in the path of the armadillo. So we would hope they just walked into the trap. But somebody had these wooden traps, and what they did was they put an armadillo in there, and so we buy these traps pre-scented. They already smell like armadillos. So they make the traps, and then they put an armadillo in there. So it smells like an armadillo, and then we get a trap either unscented or scented. So we literally have the choice of buying armadillo traps already used, which means they're better, or brand, which means we have to go out and use them in order for them to work. Um, but with that trap, what we do is we just put it out in the general area that we're seeing the armadillo, and then the armadillos just wander into the trap. Ask the customers to check the trap every morning, and when there's an armadillo in there, they call us and let us know that we need to come out. I want to see if we can find another. I thought I've got some armadillos of me holding them, because the neat thing about armadillos. All right, so this is an old video, one of my oldest. Let me try to pull it up here, and you can get an idea what. Okay, I guess you've seen it. So armadillos are not capable of. Their mouth too small, and so you can put your finger up to their mouth, and they're not going to bite you. This guy's being very gentle. The one thing that they do though, when you hold them like that, is some of them go crazy, and they'll kick and they'll butt and they'll spin around, and you just have to hold them by the tail really hard, which it doesn't hurt them. You're not letting them go, or you grab them by the tail and you put them on the ground, and then you just put your hand on top of them, and then you can pick them up, and they're in a good mood. They'll let you hold them kind of like that, like a little baby. The cool thing about armadillos is they always have 4 babies. It's always the sex. So if the armadillos have 4 babies, they're all either girls or they're all going to be boys. A lot of people think or like to see also that armadillos have leprosy, and I think there's been like 2 cases of leprosy, and they were related to armadillos escaping from lab where they were to test leprosy. And leprosy, years, like hundreds of years ago, it was a common thing. And what leprosy does, it makes your body part fall off, so your arms can fall off or your legs. So be very, very cautious if you're out trying to catch armadillos. These guys are one of my favorite. They're really harmless. They don't hurt anyone. They get beat up. People don't like them. People hit them with their cars, but they're neat animals. They've migrated up here from America. There's different kinds. We've got the 9-banded armadillo. So he was a pretty cool dude. That guy. And this have anything else exciting things I do too is I rescue this when I can, and let me see if I can get the audio on this, because this barking raccoon, and some raccoons bark and some don't, and so but we get one that is a barker. It's cool. So let me see if I can pull it up where it's barking. I'm not sure what the audio is on these videos that I'm showing, so my apology if not working. All right.
And I'm going in.
I think I got teeth in that picture.
Set a trap here last night, and caught her. That's here. Setting right here. Will always set something into the trap. I will.
There we go.
And then I've got the plywood attached to the roof, so it's not going to go anywhere. Also, never ever put an animal in sunlight.
Hold on. She was barking. And
what we're going to do is what we're going to do is if they can pull something into a trap, they will.
All right.
So it's always good to have.
So you can always look at these videos later. My YouTube channel is Dusty Showers, Pest Tips, and Animal Rescues, where you can just put in my name and kind of any normal, and you might find it really cool. Here's a baby raccoon that I got out of a dumpster, and here's a dog that I rescued.
My name is Dusty Showers of Creeping Creatures.
Oh, I know it's going to get complicated showing all of these things. So, about that jacket. Yeah, that's one of my favorite jackets. Let me just do one more, and then I'll let you guys get on with the day. I'm not sure how long I'm supposed to go here. All right. So this was Shelly, the dog. Shelly had been living in this house for a couple of years, a vacant house, and it was burned. So though the whole house was burned down, there was nothing inside except just garbage. So the dog had been living in there, and I didn't think we were going to be able to catch him or her. And so, and this says out Tampa, pardon my jacket. And she's a trap. I set out this dog trap, and I never catch her. A lot of dogs are hard, and they won't go into trap. Once you get them into a trap, you know what they're going to do. So she barked at me. She's been living out in the swamp for a couple of years, and she hasn't been around people. She hasn't trusted people. And so the coolest thing, this is a really big trap that I've got her in, and I'm trying to cure her before I take her out of it. Because the thing you want to do is spend days trying to catch a dog, and then catch it off the trap, and then she runs out. So because again, you know what she's going to do when you pull her out of the trap. You don't know if she's going to attack, if she's going to run. Sometimes they'll just twist on the leash, just get down and roll, and in doing that, they can break the collars. So, but the coolest thing was, she was a little freaked out. You can see, and then she goes right between legs, and I think it was cool. So that's the neatest thing when you've got a dog been out in the wild for a couple of years, and then you sit with them, and they're just a sweet gentle dog. So we ended up finding for her. We called her Shelly. I tried to name the dogs after places to do with rescue. So this was Shelly. She was living in a shell of a house. And see how gentle she was, and she ended up good. Actually, we got some cheeseburgers, so we shared cheeseburgers on the road, and so she got a bite, and then a bite. She didn't trust me, so what I did was I took off all the buns, and took off the pickle. Still didn't want it, and I'm pretty sure she eventually ate it. Yeah, she's like, oh, okay, I like cheeseburgers. Yeah, so she had her cheeseburger, and I had my cheeseburger. There she goes. So that's probably the best meal that she's had in a long time. Shelly, let me just see if I can find one more. Old Man Jenkins. He was one that I had to crawl through a storm drain to get. It was a Chihuahua that had dumped. So 410,000 views on this one. The video is a little cheeky, but let me pull it up here. All right, so this is Old Man Jenkins. Somebody had been telling me that the dog was living down, or not living, but it had been dumped in the sewer, and it had been down there for 3 days. And this was Lena Clark. No believed her. Her fire department out there. The dog catcher there, they couldn't find the dog anywhere. And so I searched, and I looked in things, and then finally found I found a storm drain cover. I decided to just go in it and crawl through. So this is just about 6 feet underground, and you see I'm just crawling through the dark. There's roaches all over. That's another one of my jackets. So ignore the gets. All right, so I'm crawling through the storm drain, and it's hot, and I'm sweaty, and there's broken glass, and there's roaches, and I wasn't sure there was anything down there, and then I started hearing this squeak, and the problem is I'm in the storm drain, and then if I get close to it and it's dog, it might just run away. So I was concerned about that, but then when I got close to the dog, you can see it here. It's hard to crawl through a dark storm drain with a flashlight, hands and knees, and still take good video. But you can see up on him, and this is Chihuahua. It had been dumped in sewer, 6 feet down. So the street is 6 feet up. So it fell down 6 feet, landed on the concrete, and he was just walking in circles when I found him, just whelping. So if you watch the video and you'll get the audio, you can hear him whelp. And then somebody up on top says get him, and they heard me say, yeah, I got him, and everybody cheered. So you can see the dog's an old, he's an old timer. He wasn't going to be going anywhere, and so we finally got him out of there. And let's see, so here's me down in a storm drain, and we named him Old Man Jenkins. He's since passed away. This was from like 2014. So though there, I had just handed him up storm drain to her, and so she'd come in, and then you can see crawling out of there, and then we're giving him water. So he had food or water for 3 days. So we ended up bringing him home, and he was a pet until he passed away. Definitely one of the cooler rescues that I've been able to. So why don't we wrap it up there? I think we should take questions, but I don't know how to do that. If you have questions, actually, you can go to my YouTube channel and comment. Watch a video, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have a favorite. Let me know if you have a favorite animal and why. I have out that you guys have lots of stories, and I'd love to hear them. I apologize that I can't, but if you leave a comment on my YouTube video, I would certainly love to answer or hear what you have to say. So thank you, everybody. Remember, be kind to your teacher, kind to animals, especially pit bulls, which are my favorite dog, although I love all dogs, possums, snakes. Be nice to everything. Good luck to you guys, and thanks for allowing me to come and talk to you.